So hey everybody, this is a super quick take on Jane Philpott's resignation from the Trudeau cabinet. I don't know if you saw it, but I was on the CTV kind of live as this happened. I was going to be talking about, just the general developments in this scandal, how Jerry Butts was going to be testifying on Wednesday, and how, Jody Wilson-Raybould was going to make her next move, and about halfway through the interview, we get this statement from Jane Philpott, which is one of Trudeau's kind of top cabinet ministers, and basically she makes it clear, and I do want to read this part right here, I'm just going to read this out, that unfortunately the evidence of efforts by politicians and or officials to pressure the former Attorney General to intervene in the criminal case involving SNC-Lavalin and the evidence as to the content of those efforts have raised serious concerns for me. Those concerns have been augmented by the views expressed by my constituents and other Canadians. And she goes on to say that she still wants to be a liberal, but she doesn't feel she has confidence in how the government has handled this. This is massive news for multiple reasons. It's massive news because this is the second high-profile cabinet departure in just a matter of weeks for the Liberals. They just did a mini shuffle last week to try to address the departure of Jody Wilson-Raybould, and may have to do so again. You have this being a major issue because it's not just one person now who has issues with how Trudeau and Wernick and Butts and Telford and others have handled this case, but now it's two. And I think, crucially, this has a real optics problem for the Liberals. A real big optics problem. The Liberal Party ran in 2015 on this idea of being progressive. They, after being elected, made a big deal of having a diverse and gender-balanced cabinet, where, for the first time, perhaps ever in Canada, at the federal level at least, women and non-white people would be giving meaningful power within the government. Not just filling up, token seats as backbenchers, but being given real power and real cabinet seats. And we saw that, to Trudeau's credit. He put women like Jody Wilson-Raybould as Justice Minister, and he gave Chrystia Freeland, major important roles to play within his cabinet, and being basically Canada's voice abroad. Very important. But what we see is fundamentally, when those women and racialized people want to do things differently, when they want to challenge the way things have always been done, that's when there is trouble. And Trudeau, at the end of the day, didn't really want to see the new ideas and perspectives that women and Indigenous people and people of color could bring if those positions clashed with what the Liberal Party is and has always been about, which is about a close tie with a few key corporations and using those ties to perpetuate their power and privilege over the population. That's the Liberal Party. If women and people of color could play that game, then welcome aboard. But when Jody Wilson-Raybould said, no, my concept of justice, my concept of fairness leads me to this belief that SNC-Lavalin is not above the law, then we saw pressure. Then we saw nearly a dozen high-profile people try to get her to change her decision. They disrespected her expert opinion, and they tried to change it. And when she left the position, the Liberal Party through back channels belittled her and used misogynistic language to attack her. And so you're seeing the backlash here. You're seeing the backlash from Wilson-Raybould herself, and you're also seeing it from Philpott and other people as well who have said, they've decided not to run again. Like, so that's a big factor here. And I just want to underline here, to go back to this, that you're going to see continual denial from Liberals on Twitter, on Facebook, what have you. You're going to have them still say, well, there's nothing to see here, there's no real scandal, no big deal. But eventually, and more of them are now, they're going to move to this idea that you have no choice, that no matter how corrupt or how dismissive Justin Trudeau is of the different perspectives in his government, in his cabinet, in his caucus, you have no choice but him. It's either him or Scheer. And that's not true. You can choose Jagmeet Singh in the NDP. You can choose a party that represents diversity of Canadians, a party that has had women lead itself, a party that will stand up for the rule of law, even when it applies to corporations, and you don't have to choose Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party. You're not their prisoner. You're not their hostage. They're the ones that broke the electoral reform promise. So don't let them, therefore, in turn, say that first past the post is first past the post demands your loyalty to them. Fight this government, fight their corruption, reject the leadership of this party at the very least. Because here's the thing, while Wilson-Raybould and Philpott, they haven't left the Liberal Party, they haven't left the Liberal caucus, they've demonstrated that they have no confidence in the current cabinet. And that's the reality. Otherwise, they would serve within it.